you're doing well. Welcome back to another episode of the Up and About podcast. My name is Isabel and I am your host. Today, I wanted to discuss beauty and the economics of beauty and how, as women, we can profit from leveraging our beauty. Beauty is a commodity that women have been subjugated into the system of since the beginning of time. And although beauty is seen as a blessing and a curse, specifically in this episode, I wanted to discuss how we can really lean into it, benefit from the system that values beauty, and leverage it for us and our socioeconomic benefit. Don't get me wrong, this episode isn't for everyone. If you are the type of gal to just opt out completely out of societal and beauty standards, this is not for you. I am talking to the girls that are desiring the privilege they get out of leveraging their beauty and desire the benefits that come with being in a patriarchal and capitalist society. Me personally, I have always viewed the systems that were built for us one of two ways. One, we can resist it and suffer the consequences of resisting a systemic structure. Or two, we can lean in and we can use it as leverage to profit ourselves and our families and the people that we love. Beauty and thinness in women rewards them the most by presenting opportunities and dating prospects and career growth and relationships and friendships. And I wholeheartedly believe that leveraging your beauty and your image can be used for so much societal influence, socioeconomic movement, and even iconic women such as Cleopatra and Helen of Troy have leveraged their beauty to influence political power, to create history and build societal influence. Now, the currency and the value of beauty has turned into a widespread mantra that guarantees success, happiness, well-being, individually and as a culture through organizations and through companies, which means that beauty does extend into labor markets and in the workplace. Studies show that attractive people do get better job opportunities, higher salaries, better promotions. And it's crazy because I can attest to this. I live in Vancouver, and in Vancouver, it's quote unquote illegal to use your headshot or photos in resumes. But 2 years ago and last year as well, I was designing my updated resume and I was like, oh, I wonder if there will be different outcomes if I added my headshot to this resume. And legally, resumes are supposed to be thrown out if there are headshots because it allows the companies to get sued for being biased. And yet that was out of my control. The only thing in my control is to get my foot in the door and to give myself as many possibilities and opportunities and chances that I can in order to either get called back or get an interview. I made 2 versions of my resume, one with a headshot and one without a headshot. And I kid you not, out of all the resumes that I've sent, 60% of the resumes that I sent out with a headshot always asked me for an initial interview. Whereas the resumes I did send out without a headshot, I either got ghosted, didn't hear from them at all, or got rejected, even though they were the same resume. And I actually even put more effort into building and creating the resume without a headshot to be more proper and even more updated. That really taught me a lesson, to be honest with you. At first, it kind of made me discouraged because I was like, oh my God, this is actually really biased. What if I'm only getting hired because people think I'm a pretty face? And I felt worried that my credentials would be disqualified, like getting a bachelor's degree and having all this experience wouldn't count, and they only would hire me because of how I look. And so for the next couple of months while I was sending my resume out, I stopped sending the resume with a headshot. I just sent the resume without the headshot to see if I would get a similar response. And the sad part is that I barely got any interviews back just with that updated resume without the headshot, despite designing that resume to be ATS friendly and easily readable. And I even hired a resume coach to go through my resume and tailor it for the industry and to have keywords. Like, I really put a lot of investment and energy into making sure my qualifications and my experience and my education stood out. I probably sent out that updated resume at least 150 times to different positions over 5 months. And I'd say I probably had 3 responses for interviews. And seeing that difference was just insane to me. I was wasting my time. I was wasting my money. Overall, it felt really hopeless, getting rejected over and over and over again, versus seeing the amount of positive response and job and interview opportunities I had with my headshot on it. When you can save yourself months of your time and money hiring resume editors and more time rewriting your resume with specific keywords for the job description to get your foot in the door and to get noticed just by adding your headshot, why would you not do that? It doesn't disqualify your experience or your education or your qualifications. It just allows you to save your time and your money and benefit from the systems that value beauty. So use it to your advantage, especially if you have really solid headshots and you spent hours working with a photographer and getting them. If this system has been working for hundreds of years and is not going to go anywhere in our lifetime and will most likely be around for hundreds of years, I say it's an investment and within your control to leverage and capitalize on your beauty, especially as a woman, because these standards or borders don't exist for men. If doing my hair and looking good and wearing my favorite lip gloss gives me more socioeconomic mobility and financial stability and access to places that the average person won't be able to get into because you've invested in your beauty, why not? It's really interesting seeing the rise of content creators as well, and women that have built careers off of their looks and their beauty routines and their morning routines and their skincare routines, teaching women how to do the same. And it's so cute and so fun. It's the best time watching that kind of content. But when you realize that these beauty routines and making content and videos of your routines opens this portal of getting paid $10,000 per post, $15,000 per post, again, why would you not do it? Beauty does this incredible job at producing the halo effect, which is this cognitive bias of portraying characteristics of being a good person. A lot of people give you the benefit of the doubt for being beautiful, assuming beautiful people are just good people in general. There's a book called Beauty Pays: Why Attractive People Are More Successful. And in this book, Daniel Hamermesh calculates the ROI of a beautiful person versus a quote-unquote average person or non-beautiful person. And he finds that attractive people make 3% to 4% more than the average or non-attractive person. So a person with good looks that makes $20 an hour over a 40-year career period would produce $1.69 million, which is $230,000 more than the average person would make. He also talks about how the average person makes $140,000 more than the below average looking person, which is insane. It goes to show that people earning the same wage over the same amount of time who are less attractive need to work harder to become more productive. Not gonna lie, I think that when you invest in your outfits and your hair and your makeup and your skin, it gives you this sense of confidence. And that confidence will allow you to show up and walk in the world differently than when you don't do your hair or your makeup or your clothes that day. You can feel it in your energy, you can feel it in your vibe, you can feel it especially when you're inconsistent with your routines. Working out and investing in yourself and your health and your beauty makes you feel good. It allows you to interact with people more. It helps you work on your self-concept and your self-image. And when you invest in your health and your fitness and your beauty constantly, it's very hard to stop. It gives you incentive to keep on investing and to keep going, especially when you love the results. And you love the way that not only other people treat you, but how you treat yourself and how you respect yourself. Being healthy and having a healthy body is such a flex that other people can never take away from you. It communicates consistency, it communicates discipline, it communicates hard work, it communicates being able to withstand being uncomfortable, because working out is uncomfortable. Being in pain is uncomfortable, but it is a pain that is worth it and you'll tolerate, because ultimately it leads to better outcomes. Having an amazing body is something you have to work on every single day. It's not something that you're born with. Putting in the time and the research into eating the good foods that work for you and your body, as well as the workouts, and carving time out of your day to even work out and eat well even though you don't want to, that's a flex. And it shows that you respect yourself and love yourself, and you have this certain standard for yourself that when other people see, they can't help but to respect it and to treat you with respect. And I do think that that does have a really big key role when it comes down to health and wellness and beauty. It's very self-empowering to be able to take accountability of these aspects in your life. When you feel beautiful and you feel confident and you feel like you're showing up as your best self, it really does reflect on your outer world too. And then that outer world draws very specific people to you, because as somebody that really takes care of themselves like that, it attracts other people that also do the same thing and has those standards for themselves and wants that for themselves. And slowly but surely you'll see your friendships and your community grow, and slowly through time, through being consistent, you'll see that these group of friendships that you've created as you invest in yourself continuously are also other women that do the same. And by manifesting these types of people in your life, it also brings the opportunities that come with those friendship circles. Beauty is a great conversation starter. It's a great networking tool. Going into high-end Pilates classes, going into high-end gyms, yoga classes, bar classes. For women, it can be the equivalent of golf for men. And that's why I think beauty and lifestyle content creators are so fascinating, because this industry is primarily dominated by entrepreneurial and beautiful, successful women. And the fact that beauty and lifestyle and wellness creators can become multimillionaires off of leaning in and embracing the currency and the value of beauty has always been so fascinating to me. Like, if that isn't proof enough, and seeing these growing creators and this growing brand new industry rise, it is just so fascinating. Using your beauty as a tool to get what you want and to manifest the life of your dreams, that is the way. I've always vouched for that. I think it's the best way to go about living your life as a woman. Leverage it to get your foot in the door, and then display your true character, your skill set, your values, your intelligence, your resilience, your kindness, your love, in order to impact and change the world. I hope this perspective was eye-opening. It was inspired by one of these articles that I read called The Economics of Thinness. The subheader says, "It is economically rational for ambitious women to try as hard as possible to be thin," which is crazy. And there's the specific part of the article that says, "The wage premium for a woman being thin are so significant that she might find it almost as valuable to lose weight as she would to gain additional education. The wage premium for getting a master's degree is around 18%, only 1.8 times the premium a fat woman could, in theory, earn by losing around 65 pounds. That was wild. It really got me thinking about the socioeconomic opportunities and mobility that women have just by investing in their beauty and presenting themselves in a certain way. I'll link it in the show notes for you guys if you want to read it, because it is extremely eye-opening. I'll also link the book that I was referring to. I hope this gives you something to think about this week and helps you embrace your beauty to manifest everything you've ever wanted in your life. Being aware of the systems that we live in as women is so important, and if we can learn how to squeeze it and have the system benefit us, then why not? I love a good lip gloss and blush, you know? I hope you have an amazing week, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode. Bye!